When you want only the best for your pet, check out AbbybellPetDesigns.com. We offer quality products such as floppy beds, crate pads, round pet beds, pillow slip covers, belly bands, and more. All products come in a variety of colors and sizes, guaranteed to satisfy your pet's particular style. Your pet deserves to be pampered, so shop at AbbybellPetDesigns.com. If you don't see the item you want listed in our shop, just drop us a line and we'll be glad to make the product of your pet's dreams. AbbybellPetDesigns.com. Good morning, everybody. How are you, Gary? Good morning. How is Canada?
And now, it's time to Stand for Truth with the host of Stand for Truth Radio, Susan Knowles.
As you're coming in, remember, my ears are not like yours. A great positive message for young kids. Hey, Herb. Well, actually, Brian, how are you? The Oiler team. This book is available on Amazon.com. We have Easter coming up, birthdays coming up, and just because it's as I said, a real positive message for children. Get them started on the right foot. My ears are not like yours. Available on Amazon. Good morning. Good morning. Renee, Marco, Daniel, Deanna, how's everybody? Robin, good morning. Thank you for inviting your followers. I'm going to read Psalm 91 as you're coming in. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that lays waste at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look, and you see the reward of the wicked. Because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place, no evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling. For He shall give His angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. You shall tread upon the lion and the cobra. The young lion and the serpent you shall trample underfoot, because He has set His love upon me. Therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I shall satisfy him and show him my salvation. Let me give everybody a full webcam. Hi, everybody, again on YouTube. Sorry about that. Good morning. I know, Robin. I was letting it go and didn't even notice. On eagle's wings, He shall bear you up. Absolutely. Good morning, Rhonda. Feeling a bit better. I think fever broke last night. Very good, very good. Gave your book as a birthday present to my niece. Good. I have to get a few more. Oh, Lisa, thank you. How did she like it? Hey, Chris. Good to see you. I hope she liked it, and I hope you can give me a review, if you will, at Amazon.com. That would be great. I wanted to show you also, since this is Chit Chat Friday, I wanted to show you my latest creation on AbbybellPetDesigns.com. I hope you can see it. This is a little fleece jacket it's a coder jacket that I made the other day. This is so cute. My dog, this is the little collar that it has on it. You can take and put the collar down like this, or you can just leave it up. And these right here, this is a Velcro that holds this on. And just so easy. I put it on my dog, and she didn't want to take it off. She almost didn't allow me to take it off of her. You saw it on Abby Instagram too. Cute. I know, Rhonda. She loves it. And it's lightweight enough where the dog's not going to get hot. But it just kind of like keeps a little bit of the wind off of them. And it is warm. And see, it has a little lining. I'm going to do a red one next. I know. It is really cute. They come in all sizes. All that you would need to do is tell me like the length from the collar down to the end of your dog. So at the dog's back of the dog's neck down to the end, right before the tail. You would need to just tell me how long that is, and then around this goes around the chest area, and this goes underneath on the stomach area. This one right here is probably for a dog between 8 to 11 pounds. It fits really well. 8 to 11 pounds, like a Chihuahua or a dog about that size, a little bit bigger, than a Chihuahua. So 8 to 11 pounds. They'll love it. My dog, like I said, loved it. Hey, Hassan, how are you? So this is basically just Chit Chat Friday for you to talk about anything that you want to talk about. Let's get going. Good morning. Enjoy Happy Lunar New Year and Black History Month. P.S. Thank God for sports after a week like this, especially the Winter Games and NBA All-Star Weekend and NBA All-Star. You're just into every sport, Hassan. I can tell that. You do take silver. Yeah. What does everybody take when they're not feeling well? I think what helps is taking vitamins before you need them. Actually, taking vitamins every day is pretty much going to help. So, is anybody have anything you want to talk about? You want to talk about? Hey, Robin, you're being shadow banned on my Facebook. Oh, that's great. DoTerra oil. Okay. Elderberry extract. Good morning. Had to get my coffee. So how am I being shadow banned on your Facebook? What's happening? So tell me about it, because people are talking about what's happening in Facebook. Yesterday, a friend made a post, and he couldn't see it, and nobody else could. And when I finally saw it, he didn't even have a profile picture. So what's happening that you're seeing on Facebook? Active silver. That's what you take, Rhonda? I know a lot of people that take that silver. I never get your post anymore, and we are friends. Yeah, Marianne, I think what you have to do is go over to my page and put it as the page that you want to see first, because I'm not seeing any of my friends. I don't understand that shadow banning stuff. I know, Robin, it's a way to keep you from communicating. I used to get them. I know, Marianne, I used to get yours. I don't see you. I don't see you. I don't see hardly anybody. The only people I see now are people I don't even know. I don't even know where they're coming from. But I don't even know them. Do you see mine? No, not really, Robin. I really don't. I really don't see anybody. I think what we need to do is go in and set it where, you click on in the, I forget where it's at in the settings, I believe on Facebook, and you have to put down that you want to see yours first. And if you do that, we might be able to see it. Hassan said, end times are coming. That's what's going on, folks. Too much craziness going on. Absolutely, Hassan. We talk about that almost every day. Every day, it's the end times, absolutely. Can't see the majority of my friends' posts on Facebook. I put you as my first, so I do see yours. I've got to go and change that. Use your real name on Facebook. Yeah, Robin, I have to go and change everybody's. I'm going to go and look for everybody's and just put them down as the first ones that I see. Hey, Carmen, good morning. Carmen, you missed our little start. I was showing them the little jacket that I made. And this is so cute. I'm up. One eye. Well, good. So what does everybody want to talk about? They limit how many you can see first. Great. Robin, this is so cute. The dogs. I love it. My dog, as I was saying, wouldn't let me take it off of her. And you know what it does too? It kind of calms them down. I don't know why, but it's just like snuggly, warm. They're precious. I know. I'm gonna do a red one. A red check with red inside. Going to see Bruno Mars. Oh, wow. Yeah, the lining is going to be red on the next one, and it's going to be red checkered. It's so cute. You want a dog jacket, but the dog chews them off. Rhonda. Like the thunder shirts. I don't know what it is, Robin, but it's just nice and warm. It doesn't get them hot. But it just keeps them comfortable, and they get all snuggly and they fall asleep. She loves it. Super excited to see the Bruno Mars. That should be a pretty good show. Did you see me Piper on Instagram? I don't understand, Rhonda. Just like being in my fuzzy jammies. There you go, Robin. I see that YouTube's got a little bit of a snag this morning for some reason, making it they're a little bit slow. Oh, your dog Piper. I don't think I did. I'm not sure. Dee said that Bruno Mars is her favorite. Makes you want to dance. Yeah, if you want to check out this little jacket, just go to Abby Bell Pet Design. So ABBYBELLE petdesigns.com. Named after my dog, Abby, of course. So does anybody want to talk about the Florida shooting? Anything related to that? A lot of people are talking about how, people saw signs and they didn't do anything. Kids saw signs. The kids didn't do anything. I felt so bad. I didn't even drink coffee yesterday. Oh, Rhonda, wow. Brokenhearted over Florida. I'll tell you one thing. First of all, hey, Max, good morning. First of all, I don't blame the children, and it's not the kids' fault at all. Because, it's up to adults. Don't put that kind of stuff on kids, for one. That's just my feeling. Robin said, my dogs fight me when I try to put sweaters on them, but they love something comfy to lay on. Yeah. There's this atmosphere in school right now, and it's basically anti-snitching. If you're a kid and you go and you talk about one of your classmates, you're going to be labeled a snitch by your classmates, and they're never going to talk to you again, probably, and they may bully you. It's a huge culture of anti-snitch in the schools. So, you can't put that off on kids. Even though kids knew, you can't put them on them. That's right, Robin, you can't. And, that's why that teachers and the principals and the administrators, they should get to know the kids and what's really going on. They shouldn't sit in their offices. They should be out there looking and listening. Hey, Susan, how about a bed of same fabric made for our dogs who refuse jackets? Well, Rhonda, I don't know if you saw, I have flappy pads for that. They're really nice. They're made out of the same material. They're about 18 to 24 inches long. They have little flaps on them. They're all these kind of different flappy pads. The dogs love them. Carmen got one of them. Carmen can tell you that her dog, she tries to get her dog off of it now, and the dog fights her over it. So, again, it's at Abby Bell Pet Designs. If you see a flappy pad that you want, and I don't have the color, you did, what Rhonda, did you see that? I mean, those are really great. Those are fleece, and they're really comfortable, and they love to lay on them. That Fox article I sent you said police had been at his house 17 times. I saw more than that. Wasn't it like 36 times or something? 33 times, Robin? The thing of it is, I'm telling you, our culture now is politically correct, as you know. You're not allowed to talk about anybody. If somebody went up and said, hey, I think that boy or that girl in school is kind of weird or whatever, they're going to say, oh, what, are you homophobic? Are you racist? Are you, whatever? Genderphobic? Oh, no, Rhonda doesn't have stuffing in it. There's no stuffing in it. They can't chew, he can't chew that. There's no stuffing to come out of it. Sheriff said perfectly need power to haul people involuntarily for evaluation. Online threats. Well, Robin, if you're a threat to yourself and others, the police already have that right to do that. So if he's online saying, I'm going to become a school shooter and all that, Rhonda, I think your dog's going to love it. I really do. But if you don't see the color you like, Rhonda, just pay for it. Send me a message what colors you want. I'll even go down to the fabric store, text you back a couple of samples, and you can pick out your own fabric. I think people love that, and I don't mind doing that. Robin said she's planning on buying them too. So, yeah, the dogs love them. They absolutely do. But what I was saying about, Florida, they already have the power that if you are a threat to yourself and others, then you can haul him in for an evaluation. And they should have done that to this kid. Well, he's not a kid, he's a man because he's 19. They should have done that when he goes online. He has his guns. He's telling people, I'm going to be a school shooter, that the FBI knew about because that one guy, that YouTuber, reported him, or he saw it. Some guy saw it on YouTube and reported it to the FBI. So the police, the local police, could have gone in, hauled that guy in for an evaluation. Has to meet the Baker Act standards that doesn't cover pictures of guns, blood, gore. Well, Robin, I mean, if you're talking about I'm going to go kill people, I mean, that's enough. That's a threat to to people. And he's specifically saying I'm going to go kill school kids. That's a threat to an absolutely known factor. Sheriff said it perfectly during presser. Well, I think that in that case, I mean, this kid should have been hauled in. Someone posted automatic death penalty for school shooters. Yeah, I'd say so. But again, are we going to, our Mississippi Bondsman report could have stopped this. There you go, Chris. I mean, if you have a known threat, I mean, come on. Even psychotherapists under Tarasoff are, if you have somebody that your client tells you they're going to go out and kill somebody, and it's an immediate threat, and there's a known person or group of people, they've identified it, you can call the police on them. Not sure the answer, but something has to be done. I think the answer is, Marianne, number 1, metal detectors in school. Number 2, military, veterans, and retired police at the school. Number 3, or however many that is, arm the teachers. Teach them how to fire guns and have guns. Furious at the FBI. How the hell could they not track kid down? FBI is a joke. Robin said, I think the FBI said his threat wasn't specific enough. Oh, it was, Della. I mean, Robin, it was, because he said school children. I mean, if he lives in, let's say, Florida, and there's schools around him, I would deem to say that was a threat against any school near that kid in that state. So I disagree with that 100%. Yeah, it's all right. Sometimes I look at it and then I forget, so I'm planning on, yeah. Hey, Barbara, good morning. Yeah, so I don't know. To me, that was a known threat. Hey, guys, how are we doing? We're doing great, Lee. How about you? Hey, Cully. Oh, that is actually my name. Then why do you go by Robin? I'm confused. I'm so confused with that. So, I don't know. I think that some people just slipped through here, and now they're trying to point fingers at everybody else. On like, oh, well, the kids should have done it, this should have done it, da-da-da-da, whatever. Good morning, took a friend to the airport. FBI blew it. I think they were in charge of it. Yeah, Brian, they really were. You were undercover. He deserves a death penalty. That was premeditated murder. And see, what they're going to try to say now is that he was mentally ill, that you can't premeditate a murder when you're mentally ill. I don't know. I think he did a pretty good job of doing that. I wouldn't say that he was mentally ill. He may have been, had some mental issues, but I don't think that he was so mentally ill he didn't know what he was doing. And that's kind of what they have to prove, that he was so mentally ill that he didn't have the capacity to understand what he was doing. She forgot her passport, long story, but through a system of pass-offs, we got it in time. Wow. Unbelievable, Barbara. That reminds me of the Amazing Race that I just saw. The guy put down his passport and they got kicked out of the game because he didn't have his passport. Can't there be a difference between emotional and mental issues? Absolutely. Robin, no one is communicating. Need a better centralized reporting system. That's true too, Lisa. Threat to society should be the primary concern. Absolutely. I don't believe he was mentally ill. I believe he was pure evil, Robin said. I don't know. People kind of also want to say, well, we have so many drugs. Give them some type of pill, psychotropics. Those are a problem, in my opinion, for some people. What are we paying the FBI for? They couldn't find this kid or missing emails. Well, I don't know, Marianne. I'm not sure why we're paying the FBI, because it seems like we have a lot of issues with them, if you know what I mean. So I know everybody wants to say, and everybody meaning the president and all the people in the Congress want to say we have a great FBI. I'm not so sure we do. That's nothing to take away from the people that work for the heads of the FBI. But when you have the top down giving you instructions and the top is evil, or misguided or criminals or whatever you want to say, bad people, that message comes down to everybody else. Making me wonder too, Marianne said, yeah. I hope another school shooting happens soon. Why would you say that? You really need to go and get help on that one. Wow. I'm telling you, there are some pretty, like that person just there saying that. I know, sick. Why can the FBI not at least put on a short list under investigation? Barbara, he probably was on a short list. FBI are too busy trying to cover their butts and make our POTUS look bad these days, Carmen said. That's pretty much true. Moral society has been increasingly declining for years leading to this. That's true, Daniel. Absolutely. Again, we don't have God in our schools. We took God out. Talk about people blaming the shooting. I'm going to report that guy. Good. It's Friday. Time for the idiots to come out, Lee said. Yep. Hey, Darby. Yeah, they always come out. Friday is basement cleaning day, and most of the moms are down there cleaning the basement. Some of the dads, too, I suppose. And so we get the trolls coming out of the basement to come in and say stupid stuff. Cleaning the basement. Yep. Kid at my local high school pulled fire alarm yesterday. Kid's terrified and sad. And Robin, that person should be expelled from school because that person probably did that because of what that shooter did in Florida. And that's somebody you say, you know what? Goodbye. You had your one chance. Out you go. I feel that demons are real and they find lost souls to control. Barbara, it's absolutely true. The Bible talks about that. They sure did and should. Yep. That guy troll needs to be put on notice to the law. Yep. Copycats need to be taught a lesson. Yes. We have a lot of issues that are going on. Too bad the FBI can't quickly track these trolls. They could, Daniel, if they wanted to. Poor kid was through a throwaway kid. Barbara, maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. I mean, I do know that his parents had died, and that's horrible. However, as we all know, that doesn't give him an excuse to do what he did. And you have to somehow get a hold of yourself and be responsible for your own behaviors. And I know that's not what you meant, but I get it. There are too many people that, that like to say that, and they were adopted parents. Yep. Well, you don't know, with the biological parents, maybe there was some mental illness. I don't know. But what happened was years ago, we put people that were in mental institutions, mental hospitals out on the streets. Our school teachers are not like they used to be. Well, that's because, Darby, people aren't like they used to be really in a lot of respects. I mean, we just think about it. How I have seen every weekend, I see kids out on soccer fields at 6 o'clock in the morning, and yet those same kids, most of them can't get up on Sunday to go to church, and they can't get up on Monday morning to get there at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock or whenever school starts. So we have a problem because our priorities are not where they used to be. And I'm not saying, I'm making a generalized statement that doesn't apply to everybody, and I'll say that to be politically correct in our politically correct world. But if those kids can get out on a soccer field at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, why aren't you requiring them to be in school and to be in church at the same time the next day and the day after? I mean, the priorities are wrong. I blame video games. These kids are detached from reality. Well, Lee, and that's their parents' fault for letting them watch the video games and giving it to them. Not a lot of young families at my church. I know, Marianne, because they're too tired from playing soccer the day before. Many kids' sports have games Sunday mornings, unheard of when I was a kid. Exactly, Robin. I see that on Saturday and Sunday at this particular place, soccer games going on all day. No faith to lean back on, no parents that care. Barbara said, factor in abortions and countless games where people are being killed, not good. Phones and too many activities, Julia said. Yeah. Life is cheap to some of them. Does anyone know how Cruz's parents died? Daniel wants to know. It's just, until we stop looking. The mom died of pneumonia or flu, they said. Dad of heart problems some years back. His dad died quite a while ago. His mother in November from the flu. Wow. Robin said that on that one. Mother sick. Yep. So I mean, it is a bad life. I don't know if he had any other support around him, but I mean, again, instead of people coming out and arguing, for gun control, take away the guns, putting a band-aid on the problem rather than getting at the root of the problem. And nobody wants to look at the root of the problem because we don't want to talk about it being the fact that we don't invite God into our homes and into our schools anymore. Herb, she was talking about people in general. Robin was. She wasn't saying her life is cheap. He should have gone to church. I know, Daniel, there are a lot of places he could have gone. Could have reached out for help. I don't know where, again, if he was getting medication, maybe he wasn't on his medication. Maybe it was since his parents died, he quit taking his medication. You don't know. As somebody was saying, and I can't remember who it was, but it's absolutely true. A lot of times with people with mental illness, you'll find that one person that's keeping them, on their medication, keeping them in line, keeping them sane and all that. And then when that person dies, they kind of go off the deep end sometimes. Daniel said he looks like a friend of mine. And some of those people, that if your mental illness is such that happens to you, your behavior then is not, I mean, really, if you require medication and you're not on medication, there's an issue there. So, I don't know. We've all lost people, but we don't go out and kill people. Many are abused and never murder anyone, Robin said. He was just another angry leftist and nothing else, Spencer said. He was hurting with rage and problems, so the demon came in and confused his mind. That simple, Barbara said. All white people. Cully. Oh, Cully, I'm not even going to go there. Yeah, mental illness is it's a tricky thing. Seriously, I've seen people have psychotic breaks in my office right in front of me, so nothing to laugh about, sneeze about, or anything. Long-term drug use can worsen mental illnesses. It can. You cannot control evil, Barbara said. Yeah. But, too many people in denial of their teens and their abnormal behavior. What we need to do, once again, we've allowed people that should be in mental hospitals or under care to be out on the streets because we just threw them out on the streets like, oh, well, here we go. We're just going to turn them loose. And that's not the answer. Hey, Denise. Brian, I don't know what demon you're talking about in the government. Demons, if you're talking about that, it's in our society. I have to disagree. I take anti-anxiety. We don't all have brain functions the same. Well, Rhonda, but you may be taking medication for anti-anxiety. I'm not talking about that. Personal responsibility seems to be underrated these days. Have not heard he was on drugs or taking anything. Sad for family who took him in. Yes, absolutely, Barbara. But sometimes, you can have some types of mental disorders. I'm not saying this person had this or anybody else. I'm just saying you can have some types of mental disorders where you need medication because you cannot control what your brain is doing. A lot of people who are psychotic and that type of thing and have hallucinations and all that, that's different. That's a totally different ball game. I haven't heard anything about that with this guy. But I'm just saying there are some mental illnesses that are so severe that they cannot control what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. That's not the case. It doesn't seem to be. I haven't examined this person, so I don't know for sure. But it doesn't seem to be what I'm hearing the case of this person. I'm saying in general, there are some mental illnesses that people cannot control. Not you, Susan. Someone said we've all lost parents and don't kill people. I agree with you. Yeah. I think they were just generalizing, Rhonda. I don't think they meant it, My oldest daughter has a mental illness. It's completely under control. Even at her worst, when she was a child, she never wanted to harm anyone. Now she's engaged and doing wonderful. And that's good, Robin. The SSRI meds have a proven track record of inciting and dissociative, common to many of those mass shooters. those SSRI meds are all black labeled and one step away from being outlawed, Spencer said. Well, again, I it's so difficult because mental illness is not a black and white issue. Let's just say that. It's just not a black and white issue. But I'm saying that if you're going out and killing people and that you premeditate that, then you're not so mentally ill that you didn't understand what you were doing. Hey, Alexis. Alexis says you're right. Verite. Verite. I translated that to right, I think. If you could, we're at our halfway point. If you would please retweet this, I would love that. Right? If you're really crazy, you don't wonder if you're really crazy or care. Carmen said, took years. Oh, a rational mind would know that it is wrong. Yes. Hey, Danielle. I'm on psych meds, but would never and have never thought of killing people. Oh, exactly, Just. Well, that's what I said. Just because you're on different medications for different types of, oh, it's all right, mental health issues doesn't mean that you're going to go out and kill people. And I know no one in here thinks that way. So nobody is saying that you're going to do that. I think that there have been some instances. I do know this, that there's some medications, for example, children especially, that you can, let's just say the reports are these, that if you take children off of certain medications too quickly, or they're not monitored, or they're not taking it properly, you can have issues like this, where people just kind of commit suicide, they blow up, whatever the case may be. There's also reactions to meds as well. Yes, D, exactly. Maybe he needed meds, no one knew, how sad he fell through the cracks. Yeah, if that's the case, Barbara, I don't even know. That's why I'm saying I'm not talking about him, because I don't really know. I'm talking about just generalized. I don't know what his issues are. The internet is the worst for those vulnerable kids. Oh, absolutely, Alexis. But I do think it's bad for kids and teens who are still growing. There are certain medications that kids take that stunt their growth, even. And I think that there are some children that I have seen. I'm not a big meds person. I don't go to meds first like some people do, unless it's absolutely needed. But there are some kids that, because of the different types of medication they're taking, it does stunt their growth. I've heard Shooter had several drug prescriptions, Chris said, or he wanted his moment of fame to show everyone, look at me. Could be, Barbara. I also, docs push those meds too. That's no way to, all those people need it, I think is what it said. My growth was severely stunted as a child. Well, there you go, Just. Yeah, I think a lot of times, that the psychiatrists, unfortunately, they just want to give you something. It's like if you go to a doctor, a lot of people want some type of medication. That's been said, that they're giving medications because when you go to a doctor, you expect to get a prescription. I'm just the opposite. If I'm so sick that I go to a doctor, I want to know what I can do so that I don't have to take medication. I can say, is there anything else? And typically, I don't let myself get that far. Oh, so that white supremacy guy saying that he was a member of his group was proven to be false. Are you saying that, Ralph? Yeah, I noticed that yesterday. I was a little skeptical when that came out, saying that he was a member of that. Yeah. I didn't put too much into that one. For the few who try to clear off SSRI meds, the med withdrawal incites the same issues they were prescribed for, only worse. It can take well over a year to wean someone off SSRI meds. That's true. Too easy to get pills these days. Yes, it is. My nephew was on ADD meds, and he had nightmares of killing his mom. Woo! Yeah. That's why if you have somebody that, like a child that's on medication like that, where the side effects may be suicide or that type of behavior, I mean, you've got to really watch those individuals, and they need to be seeing a therapist at least for a while to make sure that they're, leveled off and that they're safe for themselves and others. And that doesn't apply to everybody, but that, it's a precaution that I think people need to take, especially if you're starting to see issues on things. But a lot of times kids will just say that they're taking their pills and they're not, and they get off of pills. Why are so many kids in meds? What is causing all this? Lee, I think honestly there's a number of reasons. I think some of it is, and I don't want to throw this on teachers or anybody else. Hey, Gail. But a lot of times in schools, I know, because I've seen the kids that have come to me from the schools whose parents have been told your kid has ADHD. Looks like he was buying bullets, not meds. Yeah, could have been, Ralph. And so what they'll do, they'll tell the parents to take their kids to a therapist and a psychiatrist and get medication for them. And so, yeah, they're prescribed too easily for just hyperactivity. Here's what I say. If your child has so much hyperactivity that your teacher is telling you that they need to be on meds, perhaps you need to think about homeschool. Perhaps the environment that the child is in is not right for the child. Maybe they're not really hyperactive. Maybe that's just the teacher's opinion, okay? So I would say then homeschool your child. Put them in sports or other activities. That's right, Jess. That's a good point too. But make the curriculum, to fit your child. Too many schools these days want the little boys, and I hate to say this, but they want the little boys to sit there and be really quiet like the little girls, and that's just not natural. And I'm not saying that boys can't behave themselves. I'm not saying that. Boys are typically, not always, more active than the girls, and they need to let that, activity, they need to release it somehow. And, and the schools aren't set up for that. It's not the school's fault, whatever. It's just not set up for that. Maybe they're bored and not challenged. Exactly, Alan. Exactly. And you're not going to sit there and just like, it's kind of like they want you to sit there and not say anything because teachers are there to teach. And I don't blame the teachers. They are there to teach. And if the kid is being, disruptive in the classroom, you can't teach in that environment. And so I'm saying maybe parents take the initiative and homeschool. I don't think they're doing as much physical education these days. Just they're not. I was walking by a little elementary school one day, and they had those noodles, the long noodles that they play with that are made out of material that if you were beating somebody with it, it wouldn't hurt you. They were telling the kids, don't hit each other with that. Now make sure that you're not around anyone else and hitting them with it. And they can't do anything. They're not allowed to fall down and get hurt because then somebody will be, foam. I guess they're made out of foam. I've never tried one. My dad said he'll took me to chiropractor. Oh, yeah. Yeah, go to a chiropractor, whatever. I mean, you got to be allowed to fall down. You got to be allowed to get hurt. We were allowed to climb trees. Can you imagine if you climb trees today? They throw them on a playground and just let them be. Yeah, and most of the times they're sitting there talking. They're doing nothing. We had activity I think it was like every day. And now what is it? PE? Is it every day or every other day? Maybe 2 to 3 times a week. That's it. They could be out there walking the track, running on the track, at least do that. Yeah, they're on a cell phone. Exactly. For the few who try to clear off SSRI meds, med withdrawal incites the same issues. Yep. Spencer said SSRI meds were based on the cocaine and methamphetamine molecules. They are extremely addictive and dangerous compounds. And that's a problem. You have to burn off energy. You do, Lee. You do. I mean, even in the morning, if kids were allowed to go out, like each class before the class began, and just quickly walk around the track, do something, walk around the campus quickly and get them back into class, I think you would have more mentally adjusted to the day's tasks kids than you do now. In the 80s, we had physical exercise every day from running to push-ups and all that. Yes, Jess, we did too. My grand leads the pack in recess and works hard to chase those boys, Barbara said. The kids just don't get any activity. They really don't. And it's really a shame. They need to be doing something. And so they sit there all day, 8 hours a day, sometimes, like you said, bored, all the energy stored up, no way to release it, and it's not a good situation. And activities after school don't always need to be about, some type of sports. You could go and do other activities as well. But we don't do that. We put everything into sports because I guess people are trying to make sure that they can afford college and their kid can get some type of athletic scholarship. That's the only thing I know what it is. And a lot of times the parents put more emphasis on the sports than they do on the grades. I drove by a school PE class, a beast teacher smoking by the fence. Good Lord. You need to report that person. Kids are bored on the first day of vacation. We used to go on the ice. It was great fun. I know, Lee. And if you said something to kids about exercise, they'd be like, "Oh, I've talked to kids like that," and they'll say, "Oh, we have PE," and again, they don't do anything in PE. Think they go to school at 7, get home from everything 12 to 15 hours later, no breaks really. Well, Barbara, it's true, and I don't think it's healthy. I really don't. Number one, the parents don't get to talk to the kids all day long, and then when the kids get home, some of these kids are eating at 9 o'clock at night and then going right to bed. Oh, good, Rhonda. Glad. Rhonda went and reported it. Okay, block that person, and that's another one of those disgusting child names that come in. Please block those people. Unfortunately, they retweeted everything and shared everything. And if you can report that person, please do. It's disgusting. It's Friday. I played in the woods all day building forts, and now kids are online playing video games all day. I did too. I grew up. We had the woods as our backyard. Oh, you reported it was on another scope yesterday. Disgusting. we had the woods. We were out all, any time that we could be, we were out to dark as long as we got our homework done and on the weekends. I don't even know, Rhonda. It's disgusting. Thanks, Robin. That person needs to be kicked off of Periscope with those names. So, but we don't have that today. I mean, and number one, it's not safe for kids to be in the woods today, right? You only watch TV at night. Oh, they only watch TV at night, some kids. I was out until dark, home at 5 for dinner. Yeah, but I mean, think about it. Where can kids go now? If you go in the woods, it is not safe for kids to be in the woods. See, our whole society has changed. We played in the fields, yeah. It's just not safe. And there, a lot of times there are no parents at home to be watching the children. Had to give phone number to get account. How do these get account? I don't know, Lee. Depends on where you live. Yeah, I know even in my hometown in North Carolina, it's not safe. If I sat inside too long, my parents would say, "Get your butt outside and go play." I know. Our parents would tell us, "Get out and go play." Played in the trenches of new homes growing up, Rhonda said. Oh, I grew up there in North Carolina. Kids in cities don't have the space, use sports as the only outlet. I know, Julia. It's kind of sad. I mean, it really is. But again, there's other things you can do, too, besides sports. That you can take. Somebody was saying yesterday, classic conversation classes. Do not come in for an hour. Parents would say, I know. Ours would just say, get out, come back at dark, and they never had to worry. We didn't have cell phones. We would go up into the woods. They would have no idea where we were until, whenever we came back. And we were safer, at least, than we are today. If you did that today, you would need a cell phone and everything else to assure that everything was okay. I mean, I would really hate to be a kid growing up in the environment that we live in today. Now we ride our bikes all over town like my girl. Well, that's nice. Barbara, come back for tea. Me and my brother used to play on the lakes. I'd be riding my bike with friends for hours and to hear my dad calling out to me to come home, Robin said. We got in trouble for coming in too late. My dark was different than their dark. I know, Lisa. How dark are we talking about? Art, debate, drama, dance, music, tons of alternatives besides video games. Absolutely, Jess. You can do anything besides video games. If I were a parent, I would take those video games and just get rid of them. I've seen small kids, first, second grade, so addicted to these video games because their parents have used them as babysitters that if you take their games away from them, they absolutely have a meltdown. I would too. They are no good. Yeah. Get rid of them. Take a hammer to them and don't buy any more. I think that's the worst thing. It's worse than watching TV. We live in such different times. It's sad. I would go out, and when the street lights came on, I knew I had to go home. I know, Robin. This music is awful, too. The music is awful. The lyrics are offensive. Yeah. Everything, think about it. Our society has just been degraded. They can use a tablet better than me. Yep. Grandson not allowed screen time. Good, Rhonda. I don't know why, other than kids having to be on the internet or whatever to do their homework, what else do they need? Play baseball all day, stay out until the street lights came on, Chicago Pop said. Yep. We didn't have street lights where I live, but yeah, I understand. We tried to get my niece and nephew to put them down when they visit, but their parents allow it. Because their parents want them distracted so they don't have to take care of them, probably, Julia. Look, really, I watched Gunsmoke, and it was very violent. Counted 21 bad guys died. Yeah, that's true. We watch things like Gunsmoke and other things with gun violence, and we didn't go there. But today it's Barbara. The difference is on Gunsmoke, somebody would get shot, they would lay down and be dead and be gone, right? So now what do they see on the internet and on different games? You shoot somebody, they come back to life. It's like, oh, okay, well, I that didn't hurt at all. Yeah, I was firing guns by 10 years old too. I mean, rifles, 44 Magnums, whatever, And I knew the danger of a gun. I knew what a gun could do by that age. I played with toy guns, but was taught about guns and knew the difference. Yes, Jess, you did. You knew right from wrong. You knew the difference. But, again, I've had parents say to me, today it's more hands-on and life like with the video games. Exactly. But, again, in the video game Chicago Pops, they get back up, right? You see them in the next level. They're back again, Different spirit altogether. Gunsmoke was not evil. Exactly, Alexis. That's true, too. And they were protecting themselves, or the bad guys were killing people, and you knew the good guys from the bad guys. It's just a whole different world. And again, what's different? The difference is we move faster pace. We have less time with parents. A lot of parents, I've had parents say to me, I can't tell them who to be friends with. Yeah, you can. No media for kids. The media that we do have for kids is teaching them horrible things. We were started on a single shot 22, lots of training and respect for firearms, Lisa said. Yep. But that's, we don't have, yes, you can definitely can't. Yep. We don't have God in in anything, a lot of what we do. In old shows, there were consequences when someone got shot. There was grieving. Life was valuable. Yes, Robin. My dad's still in charge, and I'm over 50, at least said. So, I mean, if you want to just go right down the road, we can see human life is devalued. I absolutely tell my kids who they can and can't be friends with. Absolutely, Robin. Absolutely. That's what you're for. That you're a parent because you have to parent, right? You tell people what to do. My dad gave me a 410 rifle at age 10 for Christmas. And my brothers had rifles, I mean, jeez. And nobody thought anything about it. And we knew not to touch those without supervision. And we knew how to fire them. My dad still hit an Easter basket for me when I was 25. He really did. How sweet. How sweet. So, I mean, if people are really serious about stopping the gun violence in the schools and this and that, we all know exactly what to do. Well, first, full circle guns do not kill. Full circle guns do not kill. Yeah, we respected our parents and we were taught to respect our parents. I look back at growing up in the 50s compared to today. There's less God in church and more violence. Yes, Chicago Pops. Respect is a big issue with kids nowadays. They talk back to their elders. It's a shame because they're not taught to respect their parents. And they model other kids doing that to their parents. And the less time you spend with your kids saying, you may see them doing that, but you're not doing that here, the more they're going to do what they see. At a certain age, teens, usually like teenage, their peers become more important to them than their parents, and the influence is more important and more influential than their parents. I got to move this because I see the light and the fan. And so if you don't teach your kids, if you're not there, if you're not in their lives, if you're always gone, if the kids are always in, soccer or baseball or whatever, and you never talk to them, they're not going to learn right from wrong. They're going to learn what the people are saying to them, their peers and other influences. More people are murdered with hammers than all the long guns combined each year in America, Spencer said. I'd believe that, Spencer. But, the thing of it is, the left has spent, the last 150 plus years trying to take God out of the equation, trying to destroy the family, the traditional family, trying to destroy every aspect of Christianity. So this is why we're here. And the spiritual climate is ferocious. School is nuts, Alexa said. There was, in fact, a girl that had mental health issues, and she was adopted. This was in San Diego. Those values are very important. Yes, just extremely important. And she killed her mother, her adoptive mother, with a hammer. So Spencer probably, I know of a personal example. I mean, I was seeing it in San Diego in the newspapers, and that's how she killed her mother. So, but again, our fight is spiritual. It's a spiritual battle. And so how are you going to change that? Every single day. How many fathers and men are Masons these days too, or leaders in church? That is so tragic. Hammer one whack first, fast while they asleep, I guess. Barbara, she attacked her, and I think it was like in the kitchen. Just came after her with a hammer. I mean, you don't expect somebody to come after you with a hammer, I suppose. And, if you don't move quickly enough, I mean, it's sad. But again, I mean, we know all the factors that need to be changed in order to change what's happening. The elitists and the globalists, they want to put a Band-Aid on it, and actually they want to wrestle control away from you by taking your guns. We cannot be Sunday only going to churchgoers. That's right, Rhonda. Every single solitary day. You're right, Susan. It's a spiritual battle, Danielle said. Yeah, it is. Hello, woodcarver. Right is right and wrong is left. Just I know. It's so sad. I mean, it really is. All of us sitting back here, and all of us, meaning all the conservatives and the people who are Christians and believe in principles, Christian principles, and all. We are a fading group of people. We really are. And don't think it's not going to get harder for all of us and for all those people that are the believers. You're going to get persecuted for what you believe. Hey, Alan. Hey, Lee. Are you back? I guess it froze and then everybody's coming back. Yeah, I guess. See, we're talking about important stuff. And Twitter's not liking the important stuff that we're talking about. Hi, Jules. So we're getting frozen out. This is what happened the other day. So hopefully you're back and you can see it now. Again, I could not find you. I know, Jules. They're doing it every day. Every single day. They're not allowing my numbers to grow. Did you see the speech VP said about ABC? No. Seems odd that liberals don't see the Bible. Believers typically live calm lives. Well, they just don't believe in it, Robin. And, again, when we talk about Democrats and Republicans, I'm not talking about the typical Democrat person. I'm talking about the progressive, elitist, globalist, socialist, Marxist individual that have basically taken over on the left. Have to go. Morgan is going to jump rope performance. God bless. Love this kind of show. Thanks, Robin. Tell Morgan to have fun today. Periscope is trying to censor you. Yes, Jules. They do it every day. And that's why if you guys don't retweet this show, and it's my sinuses, Jules. It just all of a sudden happened. If you guys don't retweet and share this, then nobody even knows about really that I exist, because every single day you're talking about a different spirit. What's that, Alexis? But again, every day my numbers are kept down. Every day I talk to them about it, and every day they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious. No matter how high my numbers go in here and how many live people are here, every day the numbers are extremely low. I had to search also for you today. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and so when Barbara, at the end it'll say something like that, because yesterday I had like 50 people or so that came in live, and at the very end it was like 200 or something. I don't know. I can only retweet once on this. That's so weird, Lee. Lee, maybe when it's over you can retweet, like especially if you see things on Twitter. I think some people are saying they do that sometimes because they don't want you to get to that super hearts. I share this one in your YouTube broadcast every day. Thank you, Robin. Yeah, 'cause it just gets really bad. And me, I'm not like those other people who have, 5 million people following them. More reason for you to keep on going no matter how hard it is. Thank you, Jules. Some days it's really difficult, because I just sit there and think, if they're not letting the message get out, what good is it? But, I guess God's going to get it out one way or the other. So again, if you guys could help me on this and share it with people that share it on Twitter, share it on everywhere. We can build the numbers, even despite the fact that Periscope may not be allowing me to do it. And Facebook Live does the same thing. Guess you do not cuss is why. Yeah, I know, Barbara. If I were to cuss, go off on a rant and cuss, then it'd be spread all around. Or if I had, some porn to show you, I guess we'd be... the numbers would be up really high. I'd be one of those, what is it, those people on Periscope when the special people, when they have like 7,000 people following them, they put them in a little special category. That would be that. Haven't seen much of Millennial Conservative either. Nope. Haven't either, Lee. Someone told me to unfollow, then follow back to try and get notifications. Carmen said, you need a salacious description in your title, right? Can't share feature isn't working. See, I don't get that, Alexis. But if you would retweet this afterwards, that would be really good. They are trending. Yeah. That's why super hearts, if you really want to give me super hearts, please donate instead, because I'll never see a dime of those super hearts. Ever, 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 ever. Because even when you get to a point for the super hearts, you have to apply to be allowed to get those super hearts, and then they will say whether or not you actually can have them. So, super broadcaster. There you go, Julia. Yeah. I've seen the weirdest stuff for the super broadcaster, and I'm like, really? Some woman last night was on, I couldn't keep up with her. She was so super excited. Ooh, let's talk about wrestling. And the numbers were just like going up, and it was really weird. Have faith you might if you get gold. Yeah. They'll never allow me to get to gold. We would block you too if you show bad things. Well, I would hope so, Wayne. Although Periscope takes 30%. Yeah. I know, Robin. Wasn't that just... She was like, woohoo, kind of out there and all that, But I just, if for the one person that hears about God, maybe that's all that needs to be, whether it's one person or 1,000 or whatever. I tell you, with you guys, I enjoy the people that come in here. I really, really do, because you guys are good people. You're believers. You are conservative. You believe in Christian principles, all those things, and it's really great to talk to you. I mean, it really is. And it's, sometimes we get trolls, but we can usually get rid of those people. We do too, crew. We enjoy you too. Thank you, Marianne. I really do. It's a great opportunity. I love this scope, makes my day. Aw, Lee, that's so nice. It's like having a group every day. What a racket. People think they're supporting Periscope, don't get the money, isn't going. Yeah, it's not. You don't get the money, Julia. We need other believers. I'm thrilled to find them all over our country. Yeah, but the believers are kind of silenced. I mean, they really are. People in here renew my faith in humanity. Thank you, Marianne. It's well put. I believe that too. Great people. And it's like almost like when we get together every day, it's almost like coming together for church. People say, your show is better, pretty hair and awesome attitude. Thank you, Brian. People always say, stuff about going to church and fellowship. It's like a fellowship every day when we come in here. Thank you, Danielle. It's great to be here too, Susan. Thank you. But that's why I really like it. It's like a fellowship every single day. And although we can't meet in person, this is the next best thing. Hey, Josette, good to see you. Amen and amen. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here today. God bless you. Our support group. There you go, Barbara. Thank you so much. Please retweet this if you will, so we can get the word out. Please buy the book. Again, this is great in Easter baskets. It's also good for birthdays or any reason at all. Like my mother used to say, we get together to chew the fat. That's right, Robin. Thank you, guys. My ears are not like yours on Amazon.com. Have a great weekend. Please visit my AbbeyBellPetDesigns.com. If anything I can make for your pet, I would love to. Keep praying for Rhonda's husband. When I respond, the audio goes out. I will have to listen to this when it is finished. Oh, Brian, that's terrible. All right, you guys. God bless you. I'll see you Monday. Take care. There it goes again. I always miss the off button on Periscope. It doesn't want me to go. All right, you guys. Thank you so much on YouTube. Please share. I'll talk to you on Monday.